FSU's bringing a little bit of a hot streak into their game against the number 1 team in the ACC in the Duke Blue Devils. Duke recently lost to Miami, so I'm going to take some clips from that game and see how FSU can take advantage of Duke's weaknesses to try to pull off a big upset in the Civic Center. Duke has one of the best offenses in college basketball, and it all centers around their center, number 15, Mark Williams. They try to get him the ball by any means necessary. Here Duke is just spreading the court out early in their possession, and they're just allowing Williams to fight for position inside the paint. Against most centers and against most teams, this is going to be a mismatch in an easy basket. They also like to leverage their 6'10" power forward Paulo Banchero to try to get Williams better looks. Here they're going to set an off-ball screen for Banchero at the top of the key, and he's going to get a good post-up opportunity against a smaller Miami defender. This mismatch has gravity that pulls the center away from Williams and allows an open alley-oop opportunity. Banchero can also be pretty dangerous with the ball in his hands. Here they set up a spread pick and roll and kind of a two-man game between Williams and Banchero, where he's going to set a ball screen and they're going to pass it back and forth, and this is very difficult to stop. But Duke's primary ball handler and probably the guy that will give FSU the most fits is Wendell Jr. FSU plays deny defense, which means that they restrict a lot of the ability for offenses to pass the ball around the key, but it also leaves them vulnerable to one-on-one matchups. Wendell Moore is especially adept at taking advantage of these matchups with his handles and length. Duke doesn't take a lot of threes, but when they do, they tend to be wide open. Here's a pick and roll for Roach, their starting point guard, and the gravity of Mark Williams rolling into the paint gives a wide open look on the three-point line. Duke doesn't have a lot of weaknesses offensively, and they really don't turn the ball over much. However, Miami was able to turn them over a few times, and that really helped get the offense going. If FSU has any chance at slowing down Duke's attack, it comes in their elite ability to play one-on-one defense. Here, Anthony Play on ball shuts down this initial penetration. A couple passes later, Caleb Mills makes a key rotation and shuts down a Syracuse possession. Schematically, Duke's defense is very similar to FSU's. They play what's called denial defense. That means these off-ball defenders get between the ball and their man and play in these passing lanes. That draws them away from the paint and often gives good one-on-one opportunities on the outside. Miami was able to take advantage of this by using these longer, fluid guards to get by these bigger defenders for Duke. It'd be nice to see young Matthew Cleveland step up as this slasher role and take advantage of these closeouts. Miami also took advantage of Duke's tendency to lock and trail through screens. So on this off-ball screen, the Duke defender is going to lock onto the offensive player and trail through the screen, which means if he's aggressive enough taking the ball to the basket, he can catch this center out in space, flat-footed, and get a good look at the rim. Number 15, Mark Williams, is one of the best shot blockers in the country. However, Miami was able to mitigate his impact by playing small and going 5 out, which means all 5 players are outside the three-point line. In addition to this, the spreading out of Duke enabled them to take advantage of them through backdoor cuts. Since the denial principles has Duke playing in the passing lanes, if they're to get lazy at any point in time, a timely backdoor cut is a free basket. Duke remains to be the best team in the ACC. However, this game against Miami showed that they are mortal, and FSU has some of the pieces required to take advantage of these weaknesses. The biggest question comes at the center position, where injuries to Tenorin Gom and Malik Osbourne make them particularly vulnerable to talented big men, of which Duke has a couple. By all indications, it just seems like FSU is simply outmatched in this one. If they want to pull off the upset, they're going to have to put together the best game they've played all season.